Mga ate at mga kuya, welcome back to Kuya Puto's channel. Natanong po ako sa inyo, currently, nagrerenta po ba kayo dito sa Canada? Panaginip nyo bang magkaroon ng bahay? Well, lately, meron po ako nakitang video. It involves a couple politicians. Sabi nila, meron daw silang gagawin para yung panaginip ninyo maging totoo. We're gonna do a reaction video, guys. Let's do it. Enjoy. Mga ate at mga kuya, dito po sa Canada, one of the biggest dreams na karamihan po ng tao gusto nilang mangyari sa buhay nila is to one day become a homeowner. So guys, karamihan po ng tao dito nag-i-start as renters. And then, things happen in their lives. They aspire for more. They have big goals, and then they transition from being a renter to becoming a homeowner. Problema lang kasi doon, guys, to become a homeowner, napakadaming conditions that a person needs to satisfy. Income, credit, down payment, and the list goes on and on and on and on. That's gonna be a topic for another video. So, marami po nagsasabi, man, parang wala nang pag-asa yan. But meron pa akong nakitang video recently online. They tackle this subject and I just wanted to give you my take. Panoorin natin.
Pag-asa para sa mga nangungupahan sa Canada. Inanunsyo ng Prime Minister ang mga bagong hakbang hindi lang para protektahan ng renters, kundi pati tulong sa pagbuo ng credit score nila. Ang detalye sa report ni Teresa Redula.
Mga hakbang para protektahan ang mga umuupa at mga bagong paraan para matulungan silang bumili ng tahanan. Ito ang inanunsyo ni Prime Minister Justin Trudeau sa Vancouver Miyerkules.
Renters matter. And young Canadians put a lot of their hard-earned money towards rent. We think that should count for a lot more.
Tatlong hakbang ang inilatag ng Prime Minister at ng Minister of Finance. Una ang Tenant Protection Fund na magbibigay ng $15 milyong sa mga legal aid organizations para protektahan ang mga nagrerenta. Plano rin ang pagbuo ng Canadian Renters Bill of Rights at ipapatupad ito sa bawat probinsya at teritoryo.
It would create a nationwide standard for lease agreements, give renters a clear history of apartment pricing so they can bargain fairly.
So sabi po nila, guys, they're gonna implement a new law. Basically, parang tenant protection fund, $15 million daw ang ilalagay nila doon. So I'm not sure exactly what the details are. Siguro, if the tenant wants to sue the landlord, or maybe if the tenant doesn't have the funds to pay the rent at the end of the month, maybe that's like one of the things that can be used to cover it. I don't know. Wala pa pong mga detalye. And another one is Renters Bill of Rights. And you know what? That's good. Dahil every renter needs to know what their rights are. Pag nagrerenta sila, that relationship between the landlord and tenant, that has to be concrete, that has to be in stone. And most people po, pag nagrerenta sila, hindi nila alam yung rights nila. Kami po dati nagrerenta din kami. And we never really thought about it. But you know what? It's a good thing that the government is taking a step forward to address this. And the last one, sabi po nila, gusto nila mag-implement ng national standard lease agreements for everybody. That way, meron pong clear history kung magkano yung parenta of a specific apartment or a specific house. Yun pong understanding ko. And I don't know if that's really that effective. Dahil, we have this thing called the internet. Okay? Pag meron kayong gustong rentahan, kunyari, for example, a condominium, right? Usually it's very easy to find that information online to see what the pricing history of a condominium is or a house or what have you. So I don't know exactly what that is gonna accomplish. Okay, maybe to mga ibang tao na that's not so good with like computers or internet or looking for stuff, maybe that'll help them. But really, if you ask me, if I'm gonna pay $3,000 a month for a 2-bedroom condominium, guess what? I'm doing my research. Okay, I want to make sure na tama lang po yun for the market, tama lang po yun for the area, Tama lang po yun for my budget, di ba? So, you know what? These 3 steps, they're great. They're great. They're great. It's a step in the right direction.
Nais rin ng Trudeau government na baguhin ang Canadian Mortgage Charter, kung saan pwede nang magamit ng mga nangungupahan ang pagbayad ng renta sa pagbuo ng kanilang credit.
The fact that you pay your rent every month, which remember is a pretty significant amount of money, that payment and that demonstrated reliability that you've shown over months and years is taken into account when you apply for a mortgage.
Pero tunay nga bang makatutulong ang paggamit ng rental payment history sa credit score para makamit ang pangarap na homeownership?
So guys, meron daw pag-asa sa mga nangangarap one day na magkaroon ng bahay. Kung kunyari ngayon, currently, nagrerenta sila. Sabi nung government officials na soon, once they pass this law, pwede raw gamitin yung rental payment history ng isang tenant to contribute to his or her credit score. In my opinion, maganda po to. Dahil yung renta, napakalaking pera yan eh. And it's considered a bill that somebody has to pay or at the end of the month. Dahil things like your cell phone bill, things like your car loan, things like your student loan, lahat po yun. And there's many others, di ba? It's considered a bill. And they all contribute currently right now to one's credit score. So why not include one of the biggest bills that somebody has at the end of the day that he or she has to pay? Rent. Dahil yung rent, guys, it can range anywhere between 500 to 3,000 to 5,000. Sky's the limit, di ba? So why not be able to use yung amount na yon to contribute to someone's credit score? Dahil kung yung tao, isipin nyo, nagbabayad at the end of the month, every month, hindi na late. Napakalaking halaga nun, pera, di ba? So ina-argue po nila, why not use somebody's rental history to reflect his credit score? Which makes perfect sense. It really does. So I think that's a good program.
This plays a very big role sa pagbili ng bahay. Kasi paano nga naman natin mababayaran ang mortgage kung marami na tayong balance sa ating mga credit cards. Then at the same time, kung gaano karami ang utang ng tao. Right? So, isa rin yun sa mga balakid na sa pagbili ng bahay is kung gaano karami yung liabilities ng isang individual. Kailangan natin maging cautious sa ating mga expenses, finances as a whole.
So guys, makakatulong ba itong program na i-implement nila? In my opinion, yes. Dahil to become a homeowner, one of the pillars na kailangan masatisfy is yung credit score. Dahil po yung credit score, look it up on Google. Napaka-importante po niyan because it's how the lenders are able to determine whether you pay your bills or not. Your ability to pay your bills. Napaka-importante nun dahil isipin nyo, kung wala kayong history to show to the lenders na nagbabayad kayo ng mga bills niyo, ba't papautangin kayo nila? So napaka-importante nun, but you have to understand there's more. It gets a little bit involved in that. Hindi lang po yung credit score ang kailangan. Dahil isipin nyo guys, kung maganda yung credit score ninyo, tapos malaki yung sweldo ninyo, pero loaded naman kayo ng utang, di bali wala din. That's why it's very important na kung ready na kayo, if you're in that situation where, I think it's time na bumili tayo ng bahay, speak to a bank, speak to a mortgage broker, speak to a mortgage specialist. That way, they can determine exactly what your capabilities are financially.
Ayon sa survey na isinagawa ng Rentals.ca at Urbanation kamakailan, umakyat sa 10.5% ang presyo ng renta kumpara noong nakaraang taon o tinatayang nasa $2,100 para sa isang apartment.
Mahirap, not only na wala kang choice kundi magtrabaho kasi kundi wala kang babayad sa upa mo. That is only for renting. How much more if you actually desire to even have a house. Alam ko na kaya natin ng gumawa ng mga housing. The question is, who can afford it? Kasi hindi namin ma-afford. And I work in a profession where we're known to like earn money, but it's a dream for us. So how much more for other people na nasa school pa rin?
So sabi po nila, tumaas yung renta ng 10.5% last year. Totoo po yan. Hindi lang po renta ang tumaas. As in lahat. Pagkain, gasolina, mortgages, lahat tumaas. Bakit nga ba tumaas? Well, it's no big secret. Dahil yung pong interest rate, naging double, naging triple, in some cases, naging quadruple po. Mula nung 2022, taas ng taas ng taas ng taas ng taas po yan. And unfortunately, habang tumataas po yan, yung sweldo ng tao, it can't compete. It can't keep up. So obviously, pag tumaas po yun, lahat tumataas. Dahil isipin nyo, yung nirerentahan ng mga bahay, yung nirerentahan ng mga apartment, yung nirerentahan ng mga condominiums, di ba? Yung mga may-ari nun, hindi naman bayad lahat yan eh. Lahat yun may mortgage din. So isipin nyo guys, kung tumaas yung interest rates, kung dumoble, kung trumiple, or more, ibig sabihin nun, yung may-ari, tumaas din yung payments nila. So alangan naman hindi tumaas yung rent kung tumaas yung payments ng may-ari ng mga nirerentahan. Dahil di naman po lahat ng nagpaparenta mayaman. Meron din silang mga mortgages, meron din silang mga overhead. Sa inyo tingin kinukuha ng mga landlords yung pambayad ng unit na yun, pambayad ng bahay na yun na pinarerentahan nila. And then sa renta. So, relative po yan. Pag tumaas yung interest rate, obviously, the landlords have no choice but to increase the rent. Para at least, they can make overhead at the end of the month. Kaya nga tinawag po na income property. That way, they can rent it out so they can use the rental funds to cover the overhead of that asset, di ba? That's the reason why rent went up 10.5% or more last year.
Bahagi ang anunsyong ito sa Budget 2024 ng Ottawa na nakatakdang ihain sa April 16th. Ayon sa Finance Minister, mas nakatutok ang budget ngayon sa mga mas nakababata.
We are going to launch a no-holds-barred plan to wrestle down the costs of owning and renting a home.
Para naman sa komunidad,
Sa isip, sa salita, ngayon asa na yung gawa.
So, kung yung gobyerno or the powers that be really want to help people to become homeowners, in my opinion, I know this is a good start dahil tutulungan po nila yung mga tao na, build up yung credit nila. But at the same time, the biggest issue is money. The biggest issue is affordability. Dahil guys, kung bumaba yung interest rate, kung ibaba ng gobyerno yung interest rate, okay? Ibig sabihin nun, yung mga tao, bibili. Dahil everything will become a little bit more affordable. Parang chain reaction yan, di ba? So, pag bumaba yung interest rate, ibig sabihin, yung mga may-ari ng bahay, may-ari ng condo, na nagpaparenta, yung bayaran po nila, yung mga mortgage payments po nila, bababa din. So, ibig sabihin nun, the landlords will have the ability to lower the rent accordingly. Okay? And when that happens, guess what? People will have more money. Ayun nga po, sinasabi nila, let's go build more affordable housing. And that way, we can solve the housing crisis dito sa Canada. Problema kasi doon, guys. Yeah, they can build all the housing that they want. Pero pag natapos na yung build, how much are they gonna sell it for? They're not gonna sell it at a loss, di ba? Dahil kailangan po lahat kumita. Dahil kung gagawa ng project yung tao, tapos wala namang kikitahin, why are they gonna start the project to begin with, di ba? So, kahit meron po kayong marinig, sasabihin nila, magtatayo kami ng 25 buildings or 25 townhouses or 2,500 houses or whatever. It doesn't matter how many, di ba? Pag natapos yon, magiging affordable ba yon? Isipin nyo, sa Toronto lang, right? Detached house, okay? 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom detached house in a decent type of neighborhood. Milyones po ang usapan. So magtatayo sila ng affordable housing sa Toronto, bagong bahay, tapos ibebenta nila below market value. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. So sabi po ni Finance Minister, and I quote, "We are going to launch a no-holds-barred plan to wrestle down the cost of owning or renting a home." Di ko po alam kung ano ang gagawin nila. Di ko po alam kung talagang may solution tong affordability home crisis dito sa Canada, I guess, if you wanna call it. All I know po, 3 things na kailangan ng tao to become a homeowner. You need the income, you need the credit score, and you need a very good debt-to-income ratio. Ibig sabihin, huwag kayong utang ng utang. Dahil kahit po yung sweldo ninyo, malaki. Kung puro utang naman ng loaded sa inyo, bali wala din. Kahit yung sweldo ninyo, malaki. Pero, di naman kayo nagbabayad ng bills ninyo, laging late lahat. So, yung credit score niyo mabantot. So, bali wala din. So, kailangan yung tatlong sinabi ko sa inyo. Income, credit score, debt ratio. Kailangan po lahat yun pogi para makapasok tayo sa homeownership. Di ko lang alam kung ano talaga gagawin nitong gobyerno. Because, they're implementing so many things. And you know what? It's good that they're trying, di ba? Especially with yung gagamitin nila yung rental payment history to help increase a person's credit score. That's a positive thing. That's, that's a push in the right direction. But there's so many more other factors, that people need to worry about if they really want to transition into homeownership, di ba? So, sana naman po, meron kayong natutunan kahit konti dito sa short video natin. And kung di pa kayo nakapag-subscribe, subscribe naman po kayo sa channel ni Kuya PuTo so we can grow this as big as we can. This is Kuya PuTo wishing you good night, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Stay hungry, stay humble, keep your hustle strong. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye for now.